Background, that is Mark Stevens. In the studio, he's the author of the Think Slim Diet, the man who helped the man lose 200 kilos. And Loz is about to get put under hypnosis. Loz, how you feeling?
I'm feeling a little bit nervous, but apparently it's very quick. And
This is high-speed hypnosis. You won't even know. It'll almost be like a daydream, and then in a few minutes you'll go, I can't believe I even did that. That was amazing.
Okay, well, Loz, I'll be quiet for a bit, and we are still on air, but we're going to get Loz under hypnosis.
Loz, I'm going to have
and we
you
are
stand
filming
here
this.
like this.
Okay.
What we're going to do is turn your body into a rod of steel in a moment. I want you to start pushing down on my hand. So start pushing that. Push harder and harder and harder. And push as hard as you can. And when I pull my hand out, your whole body is going to rigid and stiff like a rod of steel. You can push harder than that. Push harder. As hard as you can. Hard as you can. Let every part of your body go rigid and stiff. Every part of your body goes rigid and stiff like a rod of steel. Every part of your body totally rigid and stiff. That's not rigid and stiff. Make it rigid and stiff. That's it. Rigid and stiff like a rod of steel. Rigid and stiff like a rod of steel. Everything stays totally rigid and stiff like a rod of steel. Everything is rigid and stiff like a rod of steel. Everything is rigid and stiff like a rod of steel. Every part of you is rigid and stiff like a rod of steel. Every part of you is rigid and stiff like a rod of steel. Every part of you is rigid and stiff, totally rigid and stiff like a rod of steel. And every single part of you is rigid and stiff like a rod of steel. Now you can just stay like that for as long as you want. Your whole body is in a state of full body catalepsy where every part of you is just rigid and stiff. What do you think of this?
So she
is in a trance, a deep trance state now, like a plank of wood, like a rod of steel.
So Loz, now look, this is actually really funny because I've been hypnotised before on the show, Mark, and Loz is just laying behind me, and we are filming this, so it'll be on the website later today, but just like wood, just between two chairs.
Feet on one chair, head and shoulders on the other chair, and if you look around at her face, you can see she's totally relaxed, just like she's in a deep sleep. Have a look at her face there. You can see she's totally relaxed. There's no shaking. There's no effort. The body is as if it's in a state of rigor mortis. You can see that, can't you, Jack?
It looks comfortable in a way.
Yeah, and we're going to wake her up from the face up now. And so just from while she's in that trance, you keep your body rigid and stiff like a rod of steel. When I touch your forehead, just open your eyes, and you'll only wake up from the face, the neck up. So open your eyes, and how does that feel?
weird.
Okay.
This is bizarre. It's really strange.
All right, so go ahead and close your eyes down once again. Then we're going to get you out of the trance in a moment. But keep your body rigid and stiff like a rod of steel. Rigid and stiff like a rod of steel. Everything stays rigid and stiff like a rod of steel. Everything is totally rigid and stiff like a rod of steel. Every part of you stays rigid and stiff like a rod of steel. Keep everything rigid and stiff like a rod of steel. And keep everything rigid and stiff like a rod of steel. Everything is rigid and stiff like a rod of steel. We're going to slowly lift you up now. Everything rigid and stiff like a rod of steel. Everything totally rigid and stiff like a rod of steel, turning around. And even look at the hands, still locked in that position. When I count to three, you're going to open your eyes and be totally aware and awake and back. 1, 2, 3. Open your eyes and bring, look, the arm's still there. Free movement back into your body. Well done.
No way.
Wow.
Loz just got hypnotised.
Woo.
That was pretty spooky.
Oh, my legs feel so weird.
I wanted to have it in me. Oh, I'm a hypnos jealous right now. I'm hip jealous. That was pretty special. So Mark, what did you just do there?
So what happened there was in a high-speed hypnotic induction, got Loz to override her thinking and just imagine her entire body as a rod of steel, and everything went rigid and stiff. So her whole body went into what we call full body catalepsy, almost like rigor mortis. Then we were able to lower onto the chair, head and shoulders on one end, bring the feet up on the other end, and you could see she was almost arched back like a mini harbour bridge, and you could see you could have sat someone on her, and she wouldn't have bent or buckled, and there was no shaking, there was no stress. That's the power of the mind.
That's crazy. Now, that happened really, really quick. We're going to have to talk off air because this is amazing, but you're going to stick around for a bit longer, I think.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere.
All right, you're on 90.9 Power FM. Loz just got hypnotised. It's pretty scary. Your news, weather and traffic's on the way.
Straight up I
I didn't think it was going to work. I was like, no, it was so fast. And then I was like,
so did you feel it?
everything that you were saying.
Yeah, we could have.